Right, guys, so today we'll try to do something like play around the system. Let me go to SPRO. I know in this sandbox I have set up uh, a company code, I think a supply account and a PP configuration, business partner configuration, and then in and around of maybe something about, yeah, account receivable payable. We little bit of setup did over there. Global setting, I think we have covered pretty much. Okay, we have something called as like maybe tax settings, but let's not go over that. See, tax is a very complex topic or module. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys may be familiar with the standard configuration that we set up a pricing procedure, not a pricing, tax procedure. Before that, some condition type and access sequence we can have assigned to those condition type to maintain the condition records and all. Those are very generic and standard setup that we have, and I've seen in many big clients very rarely those setup being used. Okay, so tax is something that always been uh, imported out from outside SAP. So we have various systems like Vertex and whatnot to import the tax rates depending on the various scenarios. Mostly in case of US and EU regions, we have different parameters. Based on that, we set up a Vertex system and tax gets flown in. So only we create a tax code over here and little bit of account determination based on those tax codes, and it pretty much gets going. uh, Not only that, but apart from that, you see like uh, the country specific settings are very important in tax. So you have to look at this, like, right, for each country there is a node given by SAP, and each of them will have a different specific set of settings that people do to generate uh, maybe e-invoicing, safety reports, and the returns that on a monthly, quarterly basis each government requires, right? So tax module is in itself very big, uh, depending on each country specific requirements and all. If you are someone who is like actively working in tax area, I'm sure you have to follow a lot of not only the technical but the local rules and regulations for that country. You need to let's say for Brazil you need to understand their local rules and regulations, tax procedure, reporting requirements by the government at the end of month, quarter, with various terms and conditions, right? So you need to follow all of those stuff around, and it takes bunch of time from your day-to-day work, right? So you have to be a dedicated person who is looking after tax area. And then so uh, I know there is like a lot of material on these setups, like setting up procedure and setting up a condition type and all those things, but that doesn't add much value, right? It's a very basic setup, and there is no rocket science behind it, right? Maybe someday we'll try to start exploring one by one each of this country. Withholding tax is a very straightforward process. You just create a bunch of keys. Uh, there is a setting that you do inside them, how the calculation should happen, and yeah, you create a tax codes, create types, right? Uh, in a posting, you do a account determination. Right. I think we need to look at extended, yeah, extended withholding tax, correct. Um, yeah, so recipient type, income tax keys, withholding tax keys, and uh, then you need to do the assignment to company code, tax types to company code, right? So this is also something you can easily find out over YouTube, bunch of videos over there. And it's not like that we will not do it, but it's just I'm just trying to focus on the maybe important parts, right? Let's dive into foreign currency valuation, right? We'll start with this. Okay, so so far we have a company code SM02, which has one leading ledger 0L, one non-leading ledger, I believe N1 or something, not sure, and one extension ledger. Oh, right, extension ledger is N1 and non-leading ledger is SZ or something like that. But obviously we'll have it checked out, right? So let's see how we can use, like, keep all of these things in mind and make most use of our foreign currency valuation, right? So I'll go inside, define valuation methods, and we have like EVR, which is like always evaluate, and then uh, this is like standard one. There should be couple of more standard, but I am seeing less over here, right? For some reasons. Hungary CZSK evaluation method. Okay, let's go and always evaluate, yeah. And it will have this radio button selected, always evaluate no matter what. Strict lowest value principle, lowest value principle. There are like theories for each of these, like until and unless your valuation drops below the previous valuation, system will not post entries when we run a foreign currency valuation. uh, Something like those rules we have for each of those keys. I believe if we click F1, system should be able to explain those things, right? Lowest value principle indicator that the items are valued according to the lowest value principle. Let's go inside the lowest value principle if it is allowed in this sandbox at all. Yeah, it's not going to allow. So there are some this packages needs to be installed. The valuation is only displayed if the valuation difference between the local currency amount and the valued amount is negative, right? Let's see. This is an exchange rate loss has taken place. The valuation is calculated for each item total. So right, so if it's gonna be a loss, exchange rate loss, then only system will post an entry. So depending on the organization and the CAs of that organization or accountants on that organization, how they want to keep their books, right? If they are going ahead with this, we should have this radio button selected for one of our valuation methods, right? Now, what is strict lowest value principle? If this field is selected, the item is valued according to the strict value lowest value principle. The valuation is only displayed if, as a consequence, the new valuation has a greater devaluation. Right, right, right. So let's say last month you posted a loss of $10 on the same open line item, and this month you're posting a loss of $8. Compared, then it's compared to last month, this month loss is not a strictly low, like it's not more than the last one, so it will not do any posting. But let's say if the loss is extending to $12, then yeah, it will start posting for that additional dollar of loss, right? So this is something as strict lowest value principle, right? And always evaluate is like whether it's a positive difference or negative difference, profit or loss through the revaluation, system is gonna do it. So this is the most commonly used one method that I have seen almost everywhere. But yeah, other tools can also be used based on the depending on the scenario, situation and requirements, right? What document type to be posted, post per line item, and all these things no need to select, because when it's an open item, it's anyway gonna post per line item only, right? Let's just see why this normally the valuation results are posted in a summarized form. If you select this parameter, a line item is generated for each valuated item in the valuation postings, as well as in the adjustment account, such as the expense or revenue account. Got it. System is saying this is how it is, but as far as you know, open items always get evaluated for each line items. This line should be talking about the non-open GLs, non-open item managed GLs, right? But let's keep it as it is. Group vendors, group customers, group valuation, GL valuation, group balance. So let's have a look at it. What, like, I haven't seen it being used, but yeah, evaluate accounts according to group definition. This has the effect that balances are created for several accounts. Customer and vendor accounts are balanced and grouped according to the group to which they belong. GL accounts are balanced according to the valuation group. During further processing, the group is then viewed as a whole. For example, during foreign currency valuation, the group balance is used to determine the exchange rate type. So I believe the groupings happen at the master data level. We should have something in the master data to group these things. Let me just quickly go to BP and see if we quickly find out something. Yeah, BP Adidas is the only supplier that we have right now, and I think we are gonna do everything on this Adidas supplier. All right, so when it's when this system start doing this, it's keep on doing that. So let me just open one more screen with the BP and let's search. We got it in the screen and it opened. Company code. We have something called release group here. Planning group, authorization group, right? Let's see over here. Tolerance group, terms of payment, grouping key. Should it be the one? Let me click F1. The grouping key represents the rule according to which the open items of the account are to be grouped together for payment. Oh, this is about payment. Obviously, we are in payment tab, right? Let's look in the correspondence. Correspondence also we have one grouping key. Obviously, nothing in the doubling tax. Authorization group, planning group, release group. Okay, all right. Let's not waste our time over there. Right, exchange rate MM. You could have different exchange rates as well depending on what you are trying to do. So I have often seen for translations, so valuations we use the M, but for translations there is a different exchange rate type is being used, right? So translations happens to a group currency, right? And so basically from like local currency, like all the balance like P&L balance and everything will be in local currency, and we want to translate during the period end or something into a group currency based on the current exchange rate. We have seen in many places the translation jobs are set for all the P&L GLs and balance sheet GLs to make them available in the group currency with the current exchange rate. And yeah, so when you use it for translation, I have seen different exchange rate type being used for for maybe there could be a business reason for that. And invoice reference is fine, right? So we don't need to like I have studied this lowest value, strict value, and all of these things a long back, but we don't have to like remember this for forever. We can just quickly anytime whenever we get a such require we just need to have a high level idea that these kind of things is possible in SAP. You don't need to know exactly like what tick you should be doing and you should be checking and what set of configuration you should be doing exactly and all, right? When you get the requirement, when you start working towards it, you then can get sort of deep dive into the that area, learn everything about it, do it, and then you sort of, when you actually practically do it, you encounter the practical business challenges, and you sort of remember that for longer term. But not necessarily you have to like always keep everything in your mind. Anyway, you anyway nobody can. And it's just something that I'm telling from my personal experience, that I don't remember anything at all whenever I have to uh, like I know everything on high level, and whenever I have to do something, then I start deep diving into it, and it doesn't take too much time because I have already done all of these things. So it's just kind of a memory refresh that I can quickly do um, within couple of hours, and get familiar with everything, and then start implementing the things, right? So let's just say we are going to use EVR as our valuation method. With even if we have done some changes, I would not like to save it. Define valuation areas. Let's just do it. To valuation area, I believe we will assign the ledger in the next part, right? So here, which currency type you want to evaluate, right? So company code currency with the foreign currency ledgers, right? Here they have created as like C1 as a valuation area, right? With the, what was it, ZVR or AVR? EVR, right? EVR, and then somebody has created their own. Doesn't matter. So I'm actually surprised, like very few people have done this setup, but yeah, nonetheless. So we are gonna say, like, let's say this is my valuation group as 0L and currency type 10. Additional currencies is just like, then this is like in S4 we are saying it. Then you will be uh, evaluating the additional currencies that you have assigned to your company code, right? So whatever those could be, like up to two are there, like so up to total three. So what happens, like when you run the foreign currency valuation, system doesn't generate whatever document system generates, it doesn't just convert the value of your local currency, but for this additional currencies also, it calculate the exchange rate, and it posts these currency balances as well in that document, right? It's not a rocket science. And this is something new in the S4, like financial statement version notes. You start seeing it like in a lot of places, right? And I have seen companies started to using it very actively, okay, very actively. So whatever GLs you have assigned to your financial statement versions, or the notes of financial statement versions, only those will get considered for the valuating over here, right? And this is something like, then you uh, obviously, like we have flexibility, or users have flexibility to go into FAGL FCV and enter the GLs whatever they want to run an evaluation on. Or let's just say they can create a variance and just pull a variant and execute it, and there is a lot of more flexibility on that end. But this is also something that uh, that can be used, or it does have a various use cases. So you just create a fiscal year variant, sorry, not, it's a financial statement variant, and maybe you can create one dedicated to your financial, to your valuation specific, like you only create the nodes or assign the range of GLs that you would like to evaluate and would like to assign over here. And then on the additional side, on the when you go to your end user transaction FAGL FCV, and then you additionally add up the GLs there, but you try to add up anything outside of this financial statement version, then system will not gonna reevaluate them, because that's not what we have configured over here. So that's kind of additional check over here, but it's just one example where we are seeing it here. um, but in the reportings, we do see like in a lot of places this financial statement versions and their notes are coming in, right? So as we explore more, we'll surely like try to explore more or deep dive more into those, one of those, right? So we had let's say created this valuation area, and valuation area is assigned to valuation methods, and now valuation area is supposed to be assigned to accounting group, accounting principle, right? And then accounting principle will be assigned to a ledger group, right? So here we see this, we are gonna also say 0L assigned to US local gap. We'll save it, and then we are gonna just go ahead. Gap to 0L is already there. Okay, so we are good. So gap to 0L is already, so it just, I'm not sure like why we have like four different nodes. We have to like do one thing assigned to another, another to another, right? it all it all could have been like summed up in couple of transactions, right? So but yeah, uh, valuation area is something that end users have the visibility on. So whenever we have to run the FAGL FCV, we have to enter valuation area, and then in the back end to that valuation area, what is the valuation method assigned, based on that system start calculating what accounting principle assigned to valuation area and what ledger group assigned to that accounting principle. So based on all of these things, your postings get decided, calculation get decided, and all those things, right? Let's say if you use 0L, system gonna know we have to do always reevaluate calculation, and the ledger group should be 0L, because that's how one to other assignments has been done. Activate additional fields for valuation. What is this? Let's just have a look at it. Okay, we see ship to party activity. Let's just read the fields catalog in Universal Journal, right? Let's just read the documentation to understand. In this customizing activity, you can activate or deactivate additional account assignment fields you want the system to include into the valuation runs. Okay, so maybe, okay, when we execute the valuation run and on the output screen, what kind of things we want to see. The fields that you activate will be included in the following closing activities and will also be posted: foreign currency valuation, FAGL FCV, translation, and reclassification, sorting or reclass. Please note that the high number of activated fields impact the speed of process. This is really relevant if you plan to activate the fields. Field A CCAS. The result is very detailed calculation of account assignment and slow down the performance. Okay, fine. So this is what my initial thesis on this, that whatever we activate over here does comes up. So like this profit center, partner profit center, but let's not go into this. I don't know the use case of this, so I would not like to waste my time on this. Activate delta logic, let's just skip that also. And then the account determination for foreign currency valuation, right? So this is one thing where like on this also we have one blog post, very detailed and very simple, uh, simply explain what is the difference between these keys. So the main thing that we should know is like KDB key and KDF key, right? So KDB is something, exchange rate difference using exchange rate key. This is mostly used for your non-open item managed GLs, whether it's like balance sheet GL or P&L GLs, whatever you want to reevaluate, those has to be through the KDB key. And inside KDB, we have to chart around this. Inside KDB, we have to assign a difference key, right? So, for example, why it's not editable. is blocked by another user, SAP class. Okay, so what do we have? Do we have to define a key here? Let's say I defined a key as ZAR, and to that ZAR key I will assign the expense account, and then exchange rate gain account, and these are like adjustment accounts if we rolling valuation revenue. Rolling valuation is something. What is something? Okay, let's talk about that later. So then you assign expense and gain accounts, and this key ZAR that you have defined here, you have to go into a GL and assign this key to those GLs which are like non-open item managed, right? So let me just show you that. We'll go to FS00. So for okay, this is a recon account, we can't check over there. So let's say we have this miscellaneous expenses. It's a P&L account, and it's not open item managed account, right? It's not open item managed. Sorry, here. So we'll also see what is the use of this open item managed by ledger group. It's also a very nice concept. Not sure how useful it is, but yeah. And then in this you want to reevaluate it. So how do you do that, right? So you have something called as valuation group over here, right? So whatever key we will define here, let's say we have defined ZAR, we will enter that same key or same text over here and save this in the GL, right? So when we do that and when we execute the foreign currency valuation transaction for this GL, system is gonna check this key, come to this setting and see what expense and gain GLs are assigned over here and post the valuation difference to those GLs, right? So this is about the non-open item manage, whether it's P&L balance sheet, and this is something KDF is the key which talk about the open item manage GLs, and in this we have to define the GLs like exchange rate gain loss GLs for each of the GLs, right? And I don't think we have uh, okay, we have this one, right? Recon account one. So let's just try to define this one, but yeah, we have been blocked by some user. Let me just kick him off. So 400, and let me just click on new entry. Okay, it's somebody already clicking off. So we are good, we are good. So this is not the GL. This is the GL which I will copy paste. Currency, you if you want to give, it's it's up to you, but no, I would not. And yeah, exchange rate loss and gain. So this is about realized, and this is about uh, valuation loss one, gain one, and balance sheet adjustment. So realize is something that will come in picture when uh, you will make a payment or clear that open item, right? Because that is not gonna be open anymore and it will be closed. So at that moment we can say we would like to realize whatever profit or loss we had made through the exchange rate differences, right? Let's say if invoice is posted, let's say if a sales invoice or invoice to a customer we have posted in the system on first of this month, and then uh, it was in a USD and our company code was a Indian company code which is INR. Then let's just say it's on the 15th we have the customer paid us against that invoice. So the exchange rate difference between the first and the 15th of this month's date is going to be calculated and it is going to be posted against the realized gain or loss account. But let's just say customer didn't pay us throughout the month, and at the end of the month we want to just calculate the exchange rate gain loss on that invoice for that period. Then system is we have to run the FAGL FCV and system will post the gain or loss of the exchange rate to this valuation loss one gain one account, and then obviously we next day of the first of the next period we reverse those differences, right? And once we do that, and at any point of time customer clears us, we again gonna set it off or cleared it out, and while the clearing document, we generate the clearing document. At that point itself, exchange rate gain or loss get posted, right? So this is how it works. So we will need exchange rate gain loss accounts. So loss will obviously create under the expenses, and we'll say 202001, and should this be my primary cost or revenue or non-operating expense or revenue? I'm a bit confused with this. So primary cost or revenue comes with the controlling effect of this entry. So yeah, let me just do that, and then I'm gonna say expense, or is it? Then oh right. It was a 400. FS00 will again come back. I'll open this one. This time we'll copy this. Click on create for one. Right, we are gonna say primary cost and revenue. We're gonna say expense, and then it's my FX loss. Yeah, let's just not waste time in creating gain and loss. So FX gain or loss. So both the things I'm gonna post on the same account. QSD is it should be my like company code currency only, so that's good. Sort gear like for this, and I'll just give something like this. Let's just see. Let's just see. Uh, yeah, cost element category we should be giving because we have selected like this, right? We need to go to controlling data, go down, cost element category. We'll give it a 01, save it. It's gonna need a cost center or something now. Okay. So let's just see how that goes up, right? So that is nice. 401, right? We are gonna assign same, and even for loss one gain one we are gonna assign same. And the balance sheet adjustment account, we don't want anything separate, we want it to be posted on the recon account itself, right? And I'll save this obviously. Okay, we are good with this setup. We'll go back. Yeah, one more thing I'd like to show you guys over here. If you double click on the KDF and you see it is asking you about the chart of accounts, and there is one little more thing over here, change valuation area. Okay, and if you click over here, it gives you an option to do the account determination based on your valuation areas. Right now we have only defined 0L for us, but let's just say if we define one more valuation area with different sort of valuations. Let's just say for some GLs company wants to do a strict lowest valuation method, or let's just say for non-leading ledger we want to uh, do a different account determination, then we can create a one extra valuation area, do the assignment of like accounting principle to valuation area, valuation method to valuation area, and then accounting principle to a ledger group assignment where we will assign a non-leading ledger to a accounting principle, and then we'll enter that valuation area over here, and let's just enter for 0L now, press enter, and you can see like there is nothing, right? We just now defined or did a account determination for one GL, but it's not appearing over here because that was irrespective of the valuation area. We didn't define it specific to any valuation area. But this is something that option is there, flexibility is there for you to know, and if any business request for it, then give it to them. I have only seen this account determination being set up valuation area specific once or twice in the organizations, but yeah, it's there. So and since I have seen it being used once, so I would like to mention it to you guys. Translation account determinations, like, we'll do it later, but let's just see it once, right? So here you can see FS item, right? And this is gonna be depending on your financial statement version, right? So you need to have a financial statement version created for your chart of account, and under that statement you need to assign the range of GLs that you would like to get evaluated, right? And then just do this setup. Let me try to create a new debit balance ER type. So exchange rate type, obviously. So we'll do this, okay? So uh, for credit balance, what should be exchange rate type? For debit balance, what should be exchange rate type? And then balance sheet valuation area. So obviously we would like to have a separate valuation area for this one. Adjustment account, valuation gain or loss account, right? So it's pretty straightforward only, but there is little nuances over there. So we would do this setup in some other another time. So I believe, like, we did some basic setup for this foreign currency valuation. It went on pretty long, but I think we from theoretical point of view we covered many aspects, I believe. And let's just try to now post accounting document, right? And I think we have a Fury app assigned to ourselves to do that, right? We have one supplier over here, very nice. And so I'll go to the UI to FLP, allow, right, in here, create incoming invoice. I think we should create it a backdated so that, like, I don't know whether it will make a difference, but yeah. I mean, anyway, we would how we run the valuation run at the end of the period, but yeah. So test 02, I'll give this time amount, I'll give $1,000 so that we don't have challenges while calculating the exchange rate. Come on, it's a bit slow compared to our GUI. Test 02, alright, simulates and then post it. Oh, but we don't want to post it in USD, right? Because the USD is a company code currency. Let's just say it's one one test 3 amount 1000. Before we press enter, just change it to INR. Test 1. This is why it is very annoying. 4. Alright, let's go. Give me all the GLs. Why it's not allowed? Amount in, you see, amount in local currency, amount in document currency. Nice. And see the exchange rate, with the exchange rate, it's translated, right? And so what I'm gonna do, change the exchange rate, right? Oh, interesting. It's not allowing me to change. Nice. It was allowed in ECC at least, as far as I know. Alright, we posted a document in INR. Good, good. Let me just see if we have a tile here for the FAGL FCV. Very, very slow and annoying, guys. Okay, okay, alright, we got our answer. So they don't have. Let's go to FAGL underscore FCV. Right. Uh, so we would like to give SM02 company code and valuation area is 0L. That is what we have configured. So we'll enter it over here. We just say not the 30th June, but the 31st July. July 31st is the date I would like to give. Test run. Yep. Update run will do later. Determine automatically 31st July and the 1st of August. I would like to reverse it. That's very accurate. Evaluate vendor. We just have one vendor, so let's just be it. Output log we have saved. List variant, save logs. SM02 valuation run. And then this parallel processing and all this. So parallel processing and these kind of things we ignore very often uh, in, let's say, when in the test system or when we are doing the practice and all, and it makes sense as well, like no point of looking at it, but it's a very practical issue when it comes to large organizations where they have a lot of performance issues, they have a lot of 1 second, yeah, just connected the charger. There are a lot of performance issues, and we have to work it with the basis team and a lot of other teams, database teams to understand and resolve these, and these parallel processings with the dedicated server groups, and for the runs that usually takes a huge amount of time, or they have the large volume of data. So all of these things are very practical things that one need to know and work on when you work for the big organizations. But yeah, let's not waste our time over there because it's just a sandbox system and we don't have any dedicated server group or anything as such, right? Due to generation, the program needs to be restricted due to the generation. Okay, so do you understand it at all? Let's just go back again. F0L. This is not what we had enter. Just press enter one more time. Just go here, let's save this. Let's just not do this save logs and all, and let's just try it out again. Yep, alright. And what do we have? So we do have some sort of differences, right? New difference, amount posted. Not sure who have entered these exchange rate keys, exchange rate figures, but yeah. Revaluation rate, exchange rate, big difference. Great. And obviously there are like errors. I believe it's due to the compound category customization missing. Account is blocked for posting. 4001 SM02 is blocked for posting. What could be the reason? Some block for posting, but I believe due to this cost element category, yeah, compound error category customizing. Error when deriving the compound error category customizing is missing. Unable to post a file document. ECS document number ECS year 25. The system was unable to post a file document for the following reasons. Suspense accounting has been suppressed for this document. An error occurred when the system attempted to post the document. Okay, lot of errors, which is like obviously not understandable from the text. But I would like to do one thing. Just say we copy this one with the two, and instead of saying primary cost, we say it income expenses, and then no need for one second. Let me okay, and then just save it. Let's just assign this one in our config, right? Man, love it when it's in sandbox. You just go to the customize, change it, and run it again. Compared to when you do the testing in quality and all. Prepare animatic posting for this. Yeah, we want to go to KDF. Yes, and this is the one, right? I'd like to go to change and then change, and then save it. Oh man, why? Okay, all right, we have saved it. We are coming it back, and okay, so I'd just like to give it one more try, one more run. So that was my gut feeling, but let's just see. Still same error all along for everything. Open item manage account must not be posted with the what is this error? Let's just look it out. Open item manage account must not be posted with start you. Please advise on how to address the issue. Open item manage must not be posted with this. just see this account. Yeah, it's our supplier. And what is the issue? Oh, posting in journal ledger only. So we had assigned 0L and we are doing this revaluation for 0L, but the balance is does available in all the ledgers. But I don't believe that there should be an issue with this. Yeah, for this we will need a user ID and then I don't have one. Let's just see if AI is helpful. AI will obviously will not be helpful at all. Well, let's just try to also at least check other errors as well. Error when deriving the compound error category customizing is missing. Okay, so obviously it says we got to check out the OSS node. So what I'm gonna do, I'm quickly gonna stop the recording, do the login, and then restart the record. Okay, guys, I believe the recording has resumed. Let me just. This is like very. Oh yeah, all right. So yeah. Um, So what happened? I did log into my OSS and all the things, and it was not that helpful. But yeah, reading through something, I understand what was the issue. Okay, so basically, first we had an issue about this one, right? Open item management account XSX must not be posted with the BS stat U. So U status is represent to the posting to a open item manage account and specific to a ledger. And what was happening? So here it is mentioned as in the case the posting status of the document in header has the value U, since the clearing functionality in FI still exists based on the entry view. It should not be possible to post the document with the posting status U to open item manage accounts. and here it has mentioned as like open item manage accounts or recon accounts. So it got clicked that in the account determination of, where is it, account determination of foreign currency valuation, I, yeah, here. So in here we had enter the balance sheet adjustment account as same as the uh, recon account, right, a reconciliation account. Because of that, system was trying to post a recon entry, post a adjustment entry to this recon account, but as per the error, system is saying it is clearing is we cannot do to a recon account or to a open item manager account, right? So it's basically happening this one open item manage account doing a clearing against another open item manage account should not be an issue, but yeah, it gave the error. So what did I do? I created another GL account saying balance sheet adjustment account, removed the recon account from vendor to blank, uh, and it's basically it's not an open item manager, it's just my balance sheet account with the balance sheet adjustment description, right? And with this, all the errors gone away. So now the other errors that we were seeing about the ECS, right? So ECS is a business function in SAP. What I like learned through after going n number of pages over Chrome is that ECS is a error handling function that is activated in this sandbox system. Okay, I'll show you in a bit, but yeah. So ECS stands for error handling and error correction and suspense accounting. Okay, error correction and suspense accounting. So whenever we are gonna get error in the foreign currency valuation, what it is going to do is it's going to create a log of that error, save that error in ECS environment, and then at the later point of time we can like rectify those error and reprocess it. So it's a replacement to a batch functionality. If you remember, we had a batch option earlier in ECC, use batch input instead of ECS. Exactly. So if we check this option, I believe we are gonna ignore that error right now. Anyway, the error is not there, but yeah. So but if we don't check this, ECS functionality gonna trigger in, which is like batch input. What batch input used to do is like take the data and store it in SM35, and later on, even if you have an error later on, you can rectify those error, go into SM35 and re-execute those, right? So SM35 is a very raw way of handling it. ECS is like a standard way that SAP has introduced one function, business function, that one can activate and start using it. It's a very standardized way to handle the errors, monitor the errors, analyze the errors, whatever we have through different applications and all. And I also went through the configuration of those things that I will just quickly show you guys. So yeah, here we have something called as foreign currency valuation assignment of ECS environment, right? And here we can see FAGL FCV is a standard delivered functionality, which is activated over here for CFIN. Like CFIN is for CFIN module also this ECS functionality, ECS environment is available, which is delivered standard by SAP. And if I go down somewhere, yeah, in, oh, wait, what is this? If it reach top, it's automatically, what is happening? Guys, okay, all right. It just did a one round of rotation. So in the SAP banking, I found this is ECS environments. If I open this, like I could see like this bunch of environments were created to correct post kind of posting sequence and all was assigned, and then there were like number ranges which were missing. Because of that, we were getting an error for like document number unable to post. But yeah, so whatever it is, right? So one second, what happened? Yeah, so whatever it is, like we are getting the errors and all those things is due to the easiest one. So now somebody in this thing, somebody had activated these functions, ECS functions. Not sure who did it, but there are like two functions, business functions. If we activate them, it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be activate the ECS functionality, and you can see correction, suspense, and correction system, right? So somebody has activated these, and due to this, it's there from all the way, right? I'm not sure if somebody has activated it or by default system activates this, things go on. I'm sure we could also see the activation log and all over here, but we just have to spend a little bit of time. Yeah, you could see there are like activation logs by different users over here, right? And due to this, that is activated. And so what is happening, like there was only one error we are getting for our valuation run, that was like due to that adjustment setting, and because of that error ECS got triggered, and ECS system was trying to save that error for later processing and all those things, which consequently due to missing ECS configuration triggered more errors. But after setting up that, if I execute it now, you can see like there's only one information message about ECS test documents, and I believe if we just say use batch input instead of ECS, we are not gonna see that error or that message as well. You can see like messages is zero. Two postings are generating. One is like standard creation posting, another one is reversal posting, and it's all generating on the account. So two is I believe loss account, I believe. No, okay, we have the same account for loss and gain, right? So instead of test run, simulation run is also no. I'm gonna do update run. You can see for simulation run we have option called simulation ledger, in which we can generate the postings to do the actual reporting on the simulation ledger and all those things. Very powerful feature. Haven't seen anybody using it, but uh, it's worth to exploit. So we will explore it. We'll spend some time on it in some another day. But yeah, I'm just gonna now generate the postings. Hopefully we don't have error, and we don't have errors. There's two messages saying the documents were generated, right? And guys, that's our end-to-end scenarios, right? I went through a couple of OSS nodes. You could see here, yeah, this one was the one which was showing that check if the these functions are activated. ECS environment provides the standard these things. No point in like wasting time in this, but yeah, if this is something that your organization has active and you need to know, you could definitely spend time by researching this, right? So alright guys, so I think that's all about the foreign currency valuation. I believe we went a little bit deep dived into each of aspects of foreign currency valuation. We tried to, if not deep dive, we tried to touch all that is there to know, and hopefully you learn something out of this. Thank you all. Bye bye.